get started. Hello, hello. We are live on a Monday evening. Once again here, I'm Alicia Couri, and this is Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. And tonight, I have such an incredible show for you tonight. I have an amazing guest, and her name is Kiki Ramsey. Kiki, there she is. Kiki is the CEO of Kiki Ramsey International, a full-service coaching and speaking firm with over 10 years of professional experience coaching women entrepreneurs and leaders to walk in their purpose and full potential. As a motivational speaker, author, personal and executive coach, Kiki's transformational strategies will help women overcome limiting beliefs caused by fear and find deeper purpose doing the work they love. She is the author of Get Courageous Now. I love it. A woman's guide to finding her passion and purpose in life, and the Get Courageous Now journal, both offering women a step-by-step guide to radically break through the mindset of fear. Kiki has a master's in social work from the University of Georgia and a master's degree in positive psychology from Life University in Atlanta. Her bachelor's is in child development and family studies from Berea College in Kentucky. And she's a member of the National Speakers Association, the Harvard Medical School Institute of Coaching, and the Forbes Coaches Council. Kiki Ramsey. Yay. I'm so excited to have you on. So we met through LinkedIn.
Yay!
Yes, we met through LinkedIn. I'm not hearing her too much. Do I need to turn up the volume? That's it? Okay, so are you hearing me clearly? We're good?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, good.
I was looking for my little adapter for my headset, but I've
got you. So you have multiple degrees. You're very, very well educated in what you do. But tell me, why was courage such an important topic for you to focus on for what you do in coaching women?
So it was very important for me because I literally started off with my mom. I started off sleeping on a couch in a crack house with my mom because she was addicted to drugs. And it took every ounce of me being courageous to really overcome something like that, being, having to sit on a couch and sleep on a couch night after night and still having dreams and hopes. A lot of times when we go through hard things, it can get us down to the point where we don't dream anymore. We don't hope anymore.
Right.
So that's why courage for me is so important. And I think that everybody, needs that in their life because we all need hope.
Yes, that's awesome. I mean, that's inspiring, and it's incredible that in that moment and having to go through those things that you recognized that you still needed to have hope and that you were inspired to continue to be courageous even through those difficult times. So that and why else do you feel that having courage, because you talked about hope, but is there anything else that courage can bring to you? Why do you think it's so important for someone to really step out and be courageous?
Well, back when I was younger and I was sleeping on that couch, it was a very difficult time. And then as I grew up, more, I became really rebellious in my life. And so I ended up having my first child at 17 years old. And that was really, really hard because here's the thing. I think that, we have to be resilient in the face of, just obstacles and stuff. And I know for me for a fact that if I wasn't courageous back then, I know I wouldn't be where I am today. And so that resilience is a big deal when it comes to being courageous because resilience really means your ability to bounce back, your ability to jump back, and even though something might knock you off of your game. And when I used to, deal with my mom, it was a difficult time, but at the end of the day, I also used to have to deal with going to school, and then I had to deal with having a baby.
Having a baby, right.
All of that courage, it really took the courage that I talk about and that I teach women in order to get through and make it through.
I want to ask you, because this show is all about audacious confidence. It's all about confidence and stepping out and being bold and being, and embracing the full you. And so what do you see is there a difference between being confident and being courageous?
So I love this. I love the topic of confidence and courage, because it's awesome.
I know. It's right up our alley. I think that's why we clicked so easily when we connected on LinkedIn.
Exactly. So, I think with confidence, they go hand in hand, because you have to be bold and confident about who you are. You have to also, that brings in an air of confidence and courage. Some people are not really confident about who they are and who God made them to be.
Right.
I think it takes real, true courage in order to be confident. And
they're like sisters. They're not the same, but they work hand in hand together. They're related. Yes.
They are related. They cousins, girl. We cousins.
That's awesome. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that a person is born courageous? Are they born with courage, or that's something you develop?
Okay, so I love this question, because I think that when it comes to being courageous, I don't think that you are necessarily born with it per se. Now, I do believe that most of the time when we are born, we have an air of confidence about us. You can see a baby, and they ain't scared to get up and walk, or they're not scared to touch the hot oven. I just had a little girl, and she's not walking yet, but right now I can see like nothing scares her. She's so curious and all of those things. And so I think as we're young, we have a lot of courage, but then life circumstances is what diminishes.
You start hearing the no's.
Courage.
Start getting those no's. Don't do this and don't do that. And
gosh, I tell you, those no's are the one thing that scares most people from stopping, from going after their dreams, because we feel like, oh my God, if somebody tells me no, then they're rejecting me.
Right.
And that's not the truth. People are not honestly rejecting you. They could be having a bad day.
Right.
And I just heard something recently, which I thought was so great, was don't quit something on a bad day.
Right. Just wait till tomorrow. Go to sleep, wake up, and think about it again.
There you go. Don't quit on a bad day, because a lot of times we'll quit when somebody else is having a bad day, and we think that it's all about us. Mm-hmm. And so I think that you can grow courage. I think that we are born with a lot of courage, and then we actually lose our courage over time. But I think that we can build our courage muscle back up as we learn how to be resilient and courageous in the face of some of the things that, some of the challenges that we all face in life and in business.
I agree with that. So tell me a little bit about your book. How did you come about writing the Get Courageous book? And just give me the story behind writing the book.
Yeah. And I think I even have one here somewhere. Like, I just like to have it in my hand.
Like me.
I know. Hi, y'all.
Bring it closer to your face so we can see it on camera, because I didn't see it. You had it off to the side. Bring it over closer, like in front of you. There we go.
Oh, okay, got you.
There we go. Now we can see it. Get Courageous Now. There it is.
Okay, look, I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going.
I know you're backwards, so your left is your right.
I know. I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going. So it's Get Courageous Now, a woman's guide to finding. Am I in that?
Yes, I see it. We see it.
Okay, gotcha. Get Courageous Now, a woman's guide to finding her passions and purpose in life. The funny thing is, I have been writing this book for a long time, at least 3+ years. And I you've written several books, and I don't know what the process was, but once I decided to actually finish writing the book, it took me like 5 months to finish the book. But you just have to make a decision.
You have to make that decision to actually finish it. Yeah, it's true.
Exactly.
You could write it forever.
And I was writing forever, and I'm like, and every time I would go somewhere, they would, the person would be like, "Oh, do you have a book? Do you have a book?" And I'm like, "What the person asked me? Do I have a book? I'm going to stream." So,
yes, I have a book. It's just not published yet.
Exactly. It's on my computer. And they're like, "It's not doing anybody any good on your computer." And I'm like, "You're right about that." So I said, let me sit down. And so this book is really what I went through to overcome, from being that little girl sleeping on a couch in a crack house.
Wow.
To being that teen mom, having a baby at 17 years old, now to being a successful business owner where I speak and I coach women from all around the world. It's the journey. Because I really wanted something that worked. A lot
right.
of times we'll read a book and it may be good, but I wanted it to be so good that it's practical, that you can literally take every step in this book and apply it to your life, and it actually changes your life. And that's what I wanted it based on. But I wanted it based on real life stories that I've gone through. And so this is the process, basically, that I've gone through in order to, overcome some of the most difficult challenges that I've had in my own life. And so I wrote it in this book.
Wow. And you also have a workbook that goes along with it.
I have a journal.
A journal.
That goes along with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that journal is floating around here somewhere. I should have had both of them sitting right here. But
that's okay. And they can get both on your website. Do you want to give us your website?
Sure, yes. It's KikiRamsey.com. It's KikiRamsey.com. And if you go under the tab that says products, you can see the journal and you can see the book.
Excellent. So I have a few more questions to ask you, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will come back with some more of Kiki Ramsey. Afraid of needles? Anxious about going under the knife? Do the words invasive surgery make you queasy to think about? After years of being mistaken for someone in her 20s, Alicia Couri, a mom of 3 in her late 40s, finally got tired of hearing, "You should write a book about why you look so young." So that's exactly what she did. In her book, Age Younger, 21 Tips to Make Your 40s Look Like Your 20s, she outlines 21 of her top tips for looking and feeling decades younger. These tips can easily be implemented into your own lifestyle so you too can make your 40s look like your 20s. Go to acradio.live to order your copy today. Hi, I'm Alicia Couri, and you know me from my radio show, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. If you lack confidence and boldness to really go out there and conquer the world, I'm here to share this valuable resource. In my book, Your Signature Style, Unlocking the Confidence, Style, and Influence of the Savvy CEO, I'll take you through a process where you can release your fears and embrace your femininity as a powerful tool to unleash your audacious confidence and win. This is where it all began for me, and I want to share it with you. Get your copy today at acradio.live. Bring out your beauty and confidence from the inside out. Buy this book today at www.acradio.live. You're listening to Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. Now, let's get back to the show. Welcome back, and we are live on the air with Kiki Ramsey. Kiki, can I just ask you to pull your laptop forward a little bit, because we want a little less headroom. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
There you go.
So,
you're welcome.
I wanted to ask you, because my producer Freddie had asked before I came in here, how do you measure courage? Do you know, do you have a way to measure, or that someone can measure their own courage?
So that's a great question. In terms of measurement, you have to ask yourself, basically, when it comes to courage, what am I willing to do about what I'm scared of. So let me say that, what I'm willing to do about what I'm scared of. So basically, like if you have, say for instance, you're scared to start your own business.
Right.
And so you give yourself a scale 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are willing to do a 5, right? 5 meaning I'm willing to do the most. And 1 means I'm not willing to do as much as I thought I would. Then that's crazy. I mean, it's true, right? Because here's the thing. In order to overcome our fears, we have to actually take action towards those fears.
Absolutely.
And so you ask yourself, what am I willing to do? If you're saying, I'll give myself a 5 in this category, that means you can be very confident in that category. But if you're only willing at this point to give yourself a 1 or 2 in that category towards going towards that goal, you need some work on your confidence.
And on your courage. Right.
You need some work on your courage. So
basically you measure yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 on how much action you're willing to take on a certain thing. And that's how you can measure your courage. And that's how you measure whether you are progressing or not.
Yeah, because for instance, if you starting that business right now, you might be a 1, and you do some things to build your courage up. And then later on, a month from now, you might be a 3.5 or a 4. So that means you're getting more courageous.
Right. You're taking massive action. Right. You're taking action to eliminate some of that fear and build up your courage. So good. Thank you for the question, Freddie.
Thank you, Freddie.
So in my book, I have 10 ways to recognize you're in fear. So do you have anything in your books to help people kind of recognize? Because sometimes you may not even realize that you're in fear. Because I've met people that say, oh, I'm not afraid of anything. Oh, no, I'm not afraid of anything, which is, yeah.
Yeah.
We all have fears. We're all afraid of something. That's, yeah.
It's true. And it's a hard thing, like, for instance, what you and I do in terms of courage and confidence, because a lot of people they just don't want to admit it, because it's something that, maybe looked down on, or people may
right. People will judge them for it. People will judge them and say, well, why are you afraid of that? Right. Exactly. And a lot of people also, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but a lot of people also say that they're not afraid of what other people think, but that's their biggest fear.
Yes. I mean, it's what other people think. We're scared of what people think. We're scared of what people are going to say about us. And I think that if we would just, be honest with ourselves and admit that we're scared so that we can get some help, then we'll all be in a better place. But I absolutely have a way to measure a person's fear, and it's called the fear factor. And basically, this is a little exercise that I have in the book, and I love to do with people. And so the way it works is I do the fear factor based on jobs, like based on money, what you make. Because money is one of those things that is pretty universal, and we can all relate to money. So
right.
I'll say, write down how much money you want to make in a month. Write down how much money you want to make in 1 month. I mean, this could be anything. Just remember that when you write down this number, that you're awesome and you're amazing, and, the world needs your gifts and all that good stuff. So you write down that number.
Right.
And then I say, write down what you're making right now. So that could be from your business, from your job, child support, I don't know, alimony.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, write that down, and then subtract the 2 numbers. And the number that you come up with is your fear factor. That means this is fear is stopping you from making this number. Because I firmly believe that if you can conceive it, I mean, you can achieve it. If you can imagine it, if you can visualize it, if you can think it, then you can absolutely achieve it. So,
yes.
say for instance, you want to make $10,000 a month, but you're actually making six, and so there's the difference. 4,000.
Right.
Yeah. So your fear. So what's standing in your way from making 4,000? Especially if you know that that's what you want in your life, you can make that. So
right.
That's that fear standing in your way. Yeah.
Great. I love it. I love it. So how can being courageous help someone achieve or reach their goal? So like you want to make that other 4,000. So what steps do you take now to build up your courage to get to that goal, to add that 4,000 to what you're already making?
So like what I love is, in terms of the book, is what I did was I wrote down a 7-step process in terms of actually overcoming fear. And the steps themselves are, a little bit involved, but, you start with basically your awakening. And what that means is you wake up to your reality.
You have to recognize it first and be aware of it. Yes.
Yes, because you cannot solve, right, what you first do not recognize or acknowledge.
Exactly.
So a lot of us don't want to acknowledge. I mean, we may be in debt and we're like, I'm not going to look at those bills, not this month.
Sweep it under the bed. Nope. Put it in a box.
Sweep it under. And then somebody knocking at your door, and you got all these people calling your phone and stuff like that because you're trying to ignore it.
And you have your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Do not disturb, or you look at your phone and be like, I don't recognize that number.
I ain't taking that.
I ain't taking that call. Sorry. If they want something, they'll leave a message.
Bill is not my friend. I don't know you.
Exactly. So, I mean.
So recognize and acknowledge.
Hey, recognize and acknowledge. Number 2 is you have to make a decision. So many times we just do not honestly make a decision about what we want out of life. And so you have to ask yourself, what is it that I really want? What is it that I really want out of life? And then once you do that, you have to truly dig in and discover who you really are.
That's right.
And
make a decision.
Make a decision and then discover who you really are. Because if you don't discover who you are, then you're going to be lost.
Yeah.
But I do. I mean, it's a serious business. We know a lot of people who go through life and they just don't know who they are or who they want to be. And that's a really difficult place to be.
It is, and it's very challenging. Even just figuring that part out. Yeah. That's huge. Yeah. That's huge for a lot of people, and especially a lot of women, because a lot of women identify themselves with their roles.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a this, I'm a that, and they don't take the time to really figure out who they really are and what they want. It's more about serving everybody else.
Yes, and it would be so interesting if we said, tell me who you are without using
your roles. Right.
Because most people will be like, well, what do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, no, you can't tell me you're a mom or a wife or a CEO or a boss or, an employee. You can't.
I'm a beautiful child of God. That's what I am.
Okay. Right. So when people can't, a lot of times they can't explain it. They can't say I'm caring, I'm love, I'm patient, I'm fun. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that are. And if you don't possess those attributes, then guess what? We need to go about figuring out how to really dig into ourselves, sit down with ourselves, have a conversation with ourselves so that we can understand who we are. Because here we walk around this world, Alicia, and we expect for everybody else to know who we are.
Right.
But we don't know who we are.
Yes.
Or
we're not given, we feel like we need permission to be who we are. We're not given permission.
Yes. I remember when I learned this lesson, I'm a loud girl, so I talk loud.
Check the time.
Having this baby, I'm having to really calm down and quiet down sometimes, especially if she's sleeping. So I'm like, oh, my bad. Talk too loud. But I realized that I talk loud and I'm exciting and excitable. And, that's what attracts people to me versus, pulling people away from me. And so I decided that I was just going to be who I was. And who else?
You're going to own it.
Yes, you can go somewhere. Yes.
If you think I'm too loud, put on some headphones because I'm not getting any quieter. Right?
Exactly. But I just remember, saying that in a seminar, and somebody said, "Thank you so much," because it invigorated me to be who
Wow.
they wanted to be. So,
yeah. See, I was a very loud child myself too. I was very loud and audacious and a busybody, but over the course of years, just like that, the nose and a lot of other things, which I have in my book too, I quieted myself. I built a shell around myself, and it was in the process of peeling away those layers and really emerging myself and coming out and realizing I am not quiet. I'm not shy. I'm not that person. I'm not loud, but I am animated. I'm very animated, and so I have to own that and be that. And so, Kiki, we are wrapping up. This interview went by so fast. Tell everybody again how to get in touch with you. KikiRamsey.com.
KikiRamsey.com. I'm also on all the other social media, in terms of Twitter, Instagram, all of
Facebook.
that. Kiki Ramsey.
All right,
Facebook.
Kiki Ramsey, KIKRIRAMSEY. Thank you so much for being my guest today, all the way from DC. Thank you, my love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And we'll stay in touch. A wise friend always says to me, we have a finite number of minutes to spend. And just like you can only spend $1 once, you can only spend 1 minute once. It's your choice. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for choosing to spend some of your minutes with me on my show. I wish you love, health, and happiness to live your life with audacious confidence. I love you, and we'll see you next time.